Welcome to Enjoy Fort Wayne. This episode is brought to you by the Waialainai Farmers Market and highlights the 350 vendors that make up the #1 market in the state of Indiana. Today I'm talking to Jocelyn and Carrie Klaus from Country Roads Coffee. They'll tell us how they got started at the market and entrepreneurship and why their coffee is unique. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and be sure to hit the notification bell on YouTube so you know when we drop new videos. So today, Jocelyn and Carrie Klaus will tell us how we can enjoy Fort Wayne.
I am Carrie Klaus.
And I'm Jocelyn.
And you guys own...
Country Roads Coffee.
So before you owned the coffee, this has only been, I know, a few years, right? How long have you guys been doing this?
So we're going on, I think, our 5th year.
Okay. So obviously you had other stuff going on before coffee. What did you do before?
So I was a preschool teacher for 11 years.
Wow. Okay.
And he still works full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe let's first talk about the struggle of what are your hours when you not in the business here? What are your hours with your full-time work?
Yeah, so I work 40 hours a week, 7 to 3:15
Okay.
every day.
So you have any times where it's 3:15, you're getting home and there's stuff that needs to be done for Country Roads Coffee and you just don't feel like doing it? Like
Yes.
she's laughing like, yeah, there's definitely some times.
Yep.
So talk us through that struggle. Like, what's it like working for yourself where if you don't want to do it, you know you don't have to. But then it's like, well, wait a minute. You have stuff that you've sold. Yeah, right. So talk us through that.
It's been, for the last, I think we're just in a tunnel vision to where it just has to get done, and I guess, you get burned out and tired, and because you work not only Monday through Friday, and then I'll have some roasting to do, or we'll have some deliveries to make, but then Saturdays are market days, and then we get home from that, and then usually Sundays I have to roast to catch up for the week ahead. So it's a 7-day-a-week job on top of my 40-hour job.
When 5 years ago, did you know what you were signing up for, or did you think it wouldn't be necessarily 7 days and be this hard?
That one there has been the hardest. No, I did not know it was going to be like this, but it's been rewarding
for sure. I mean, entrepreneurship is rewarding because you answer to yourself, and it's more satisfying when your customers are happy and literally you see them and you're like, yeah, I did that. I made the coffee, right?
Well, that and we've also talked since we've owned Country Roads Coffee, the amount of friendships we've made with our customers that's and with also other vendors at the markets is just, we would have never met these people, and they're very close friends. It's actually a pretty fun thing that we've been able to do with that.
Through being an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
Dare I say, you might not have been on the show.
Right. You're right. You're right.
Not that I'm the reason, but the opportunities that you wouldn't have had before.
And to add to that, there's also we've as a couple and as a business, like we've always had it in our heart we want to give and to be a part of something bigger, to make an impact in someone's life, and we're able to do that now. Where, with schools or drug abuse centers, or things that might make an impact on another person, where we can help out.
And you have the ability through your business,
right,
like that you wouldn't have had before.
Right.
So, all right, let's rewind a little bit and take us through when you guys first met.
So we actually went to elementary school together. So, it was kind of a back and forth. We're going now, we're breaking up, this and that for years. And then
So what grade?
Oh
Do you
boy,
remember?
I don't know.
Probably 4th grade, you think?
Might have. I don't know. It might have been earlier than that. But I know we went to like, Christmas parties in elementary together and stuff like that.
But I mean, at that young age.
What year did you move away? Was that
Third.
Okay, so yeah, it was when she came back from.
Okay, so you moved and came back in 4th grade. And at that point, obviously, no 4th grader thinks, oh, well, that's my wife.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay,
When
okay.
I broke
Just
up
making
with her
sure.
on the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what? Like,
Yeah.
no one thinks,
Right.
And then, did you go to the same high school?
Yes.
Okay, and so obviously a little bit older, when you talk about love, high school, there is such a thing as high school sweethearts for sure. Elementary sweethearts,
Right.
I've never heard of that.
Right.
But like, okay, high school. So you were together in high school then too?
She was mainly after me all through high school, and then
Oh, here comes the truth.
Okay.
okay.
So
now-
you kind of dated other guys in high school?
Yeah, we kind of had this like brother sister relationship, and we kind of like fought a lot. Like,
Like
You
an
know.
old married couple?
yes. So the fact that our senior year we ended up dating, it was kind of like, what?
So who, like, the vibe was there, but who made the first move to like, hey, we should call this dating now, like we're together?
It just kind of
Or
happened.
happened,
Yeah.
it just morphed into
Kind
it?
of that summer before senior year, we just, I don't
we
know,
just
started
hanging
talking
out
more.
together,
And, yeah.
without our friends, we were just hanging
Yeah,
out.
yeah, just
Yeah.
you two, and kind of became best friends, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then what about after high school? Like, that's where a lot of relationships kind of fade because your life just goes in shifts, different,
Yeah. So we actually got married like 2 weeks after graduation.
Oh my gosh,
we
awesome.
we were expecting, so life took a little bit of a turn there. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're going on 27 years married. So
Wow. So did you think, had you guys at that point ever talked about, hey, it'd be cool if we owned a business together or anything like that in your young 20s and getting a little bit older?
No.
That was never on the radar?
never.
So take us through then that story of, obviously we know coffee, but you just love to drink it, right, first, and you like good coffee. You don't want like just the Folgers from Kroger, right? Like you want the
Right.
real
And-
stuff.
And
Is
we
that kind of
supported local. We bought from the local roasters.
We
We were on one income, and so things were tight, and we wanted to drink it more often, not just on like special occasions. So
we would go to some Saturdays. We would go to the local shops and pick up a bag, and it would be our weekend treat, till it ran out or something.
sure?
And then started going, how can I do this? Because I'm always a DIYer on everything, and I'm like, I'll figure it out. And then she ended up talking to a friend
Yeah.
of ours that was a roaster.
in Warsaw, so I contacted him and I said, "Hey, I want to do this for him for Christmas," and so he told me what website to go to get the green beans, and we started with a popcorn popper, which I was like shocked. I was like, "What?"
That's how you make coffee, is with a popcorn popper?
Well, that's how we
did at that
started.
time.
That's how we started. And so a quarter of a cup at a time is what he roasted. So it took us quite a while to get a pound.
Do you still have that? Like that?
Yes, I do.
So at that point, were you thinking, okay, yeah, let's do a business at that point?
No.
Okay, so it grew from there. So
It was just a thing that I was hobbying around. Again, I could like, because I can buy these green beans for half the price or a third of the price of what I'm getting in Fort Wayne now, and I can do it myself. Still my week, or now I can drink it Monday through Friday. But yeah,
Right.
no thought of.
And friends and family would drink it, and they were like, "This is so good. Like, you need to do something." Or like, "Yeah, right. Like, why would we sell coffee?" I mean, no, it was not in our agenda at all. But I used to sell crafts, and I would have an open house. And the one year, I just said, "You know what? We could just bag up some and sell it, make a little extra money."
We were just thinking
That's it.
$100 extra. If I sold 10 bags, we'd make an extra $100, and that's good.
And then we sold out, and then we started getting messages saying, "Hey, I want more of that coffee." Well, when you're doing a quarter of a cup at a time, yes.
That's hard. It's difficult,
Yes.
right?
It's a lot
So
of time.
we bought a 1 pound roaster, which I was like having a heart attack because it costed $350 for this roaster, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
In the grand scheme of things, though, that's nothing.
no, but like I'm like, no
took
one's
care of
gonna buy
that
our
in-
coffee. Like, what are we doing? But so like what within 4 months, then we graduated to our first commercial roaster, and we could do 40 pounds an hour.
Yeah.
And
That's a
then
lot of
within another
ounces.
year, we got another commercial roaster. So we have 2.
Wow. So, okay, well, let's rewind because that's a big jump. Like, you went from, well, I don't know, spending $350 is all that smart. And then, boom, right away, it was like, oh, geez, great investment. Like, right away, you just, or how did that go?
Pretty much. It was such a time
Yeah.
saver for him.
It was the 1 pound roaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was big time for you, huh?
Yes. But then, like, we just kept getting bigger and bigger orders. Like, and he's just like, we cannot do this. Like,
I signed up for my first farmer's market with that 1 pound roaster. And I just kept on thinking, I am going to roast my whole summer away if I sell, just 20 pounds at a market or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started looking at the commercial roasters, and I'm like, oh my word. But then I started, and actually, to be honest, I had less anxiety over the amount of money I spent on that than I did that little 1 pound roaster.
because we knew we were
I'm
selling
like,
it.
we're gonna make a go of this.
So then it was time to like build the actual brand big time now, like website and things like that, or how did that go?
We waited. Was that our first summer?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's all a blur.
Yeah, it
it's
goes by
still,
fast.
It's still like we're just like in a.
Yeah, that was. We started the website in 2019, and it was very difficult. We built it ourselves.
Really?
So-
How did you know how to do it?
We didn't. I mean, we.
Yeah,
I
but-
watched videos. You tried to ask people questions, but like we're not business people. We didn't. It's like, so yeah. It took us a while. It did, and and building the website. It's a slow. That's a slow thing too, in trying to get our name out there and through these markets, and it's a hard job.
So you can go to the website now and order by the pound, or
Yes, we have 1 pound bags. We have 2 ounce samples. We have sampler packs. Yeah.
5 pound bags. You
Oh
can-
yeah, 5 pound too.
and you guys, all that stuff, they click and do this, I'll do that. That's all you two that did that.
Yes. That's actually our second website
Yeah,
that we built.
we
So we got better.
yes.
She got better.
So, what would you tell someone, not necessarily coffee, I mean, not that you mind competition, I mean, there's plenty of pie for everyone, right? But what would you tell an entrepreneur that was wanting to get started and they didn't know, what they were getting into? They had just questions of like, where do I start? Or what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Just start. I mean, you are never going to know it all. I mean, you're going to constantly be learning, but start small. Just start small, and
That's big time though. That you I'm sure with you answering that, you're like, well, I don't know
right.
what to say, but you'd be surprised. Like, I get answers like that a lot, and that just shows that so many people have an idea of something that they like to do, or like that they're passionate about or whatever, but they don't think that that they could really do it, and they talk themselves out of it. And if you simply just start, do the one, just sell one,
Right.
and then hey, from there sell 2,
Right.
and then go from there, right? I mean,
Right.
Right.
And we kind of, that's how it was. And like, we had this mindset that we're not going to go in debt. And so when we would get enough money saved up for that grinder or whatever, then we would buy it.
I always had the mindset if I can't go out of business if I don't have a bank asking for money, or if sales went, we have 2 bad months in a row and we can't make the payment on that roaster, then, but I always thought, well, we can't go out of business if we keep it that way. So
Right.
we've just decided to grow slow. But at the same time, we had this conversation the other night with a friend of ours who was starting a business, and I'm just like, just go, just pick up one and pick up another client, pick up another customer. That's how you do it. And next thing you know, I said I sold 1 pound of coffee 4 years ago, and now we're selling 2,000 pounds a month. So, and we're not stopping. It's like we wanted to keep going.
Yeah, and too
Yeah.
many people look forward to too much. Like you can't. You just take it one step at a time. And
And it's cliche, but yet why does everyone say that? At some point, hey, it's not cliche. It's the way you need to do it, right? Like, people just say, like, oh, that's what everyone says. Well, wait a minute. If that's what everyone says, why aren't you doing it that way? Like, there's a reason why people say that. Just start, right?
Yeah, because if you just do it slowly like that, you can constantly keep that balance,
Momentum.
which is what we're constantly trying to balance.
Momentum is huge
Yeah.
at that point. And then you get 1 good day, then you get 3 good days in a row. And then, yeah, you have your setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is something that you would tell a young entrepreneur? And when I say young to starting the business, you could be 60, you could be 16, but a young entrepreneur, hey, beware of, or be mindful of.
I would say comparison, because we are constantly telling ourselves keep your blinders on, and we tend to take them off once in a while, and it starts causing some issues. Comparison is a thief of joy, and so we just that's a huge
True.
one.
Very true.
So what would you say is something in the city or in the Allen County area? Well, you're not even in Allen County,
Yeah.
but in the 260
Okay.
in the 260 area, what's something that you like to do when, and I realize it's not very often, what's something that you guys like to do together that is not at home that you physically can go do or go see or go take advantage of,
Well, we absolutely love Chain of Lakes State Park. We
Okay.
live near there, so we walk there almost every day.
Okay.
We love to kayak and stuff out in nature. He works inside all day and he loves to be outside, so we try to get into nature. But we love Tin Caps games as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It's fun to be that close to just go to a baseball game and just enjoy the festivities and everything.
Right.
The fire, every other night I feel like is fireworks, right?
Yes.
And stuff. It's just cool. And they have like Buddy the dog or whatever sometimes does tricks, or like they just have different events and
Right.
different stuff. It's the hustle and bustle kind of. So, and that leads me to, I was going to ask, like, what is something about the Fort Wayne area, either like the change that you've seen, you've been in and around the area for years. So what's something about Fort Wayne that you think is looked at as a positive thing? Like, wow, over the last, 10 years, 20 years, it's really become what? Like, what is something about Fort Wayne that you enjoy?
I personally think just this downtown area has really revitalized, and since we've been, because I used to come down here going through high school. I went to the Anthus Career Center.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was
and I would come down daily, and it was just run down.
mm-hmm.
And now it's like, man, come down. If your families come down and hang out all summer long, and it's all clean. It's cleaned up.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a place to go hang out. It was a
Right.
place to just drive through
Yeah.
to get from southwest to northeast. Well, you got to go through or whatever, right?
Right.
And now it's more of a destination. Like, hey, let's go hang out downtown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's in the last even 10 years, it's even changed from what it was 20 years ago or even 5 years. And then on Saturdays in the summer, the market, how did you guys get started? How did you guys get started at the farmers market?
So we started small first. So we started with another local farmers market just to get our feet wet and just see how all this works. And like,
You don't know until
no,
you
you
just,
don't. And that was, again, start small. We did not want to get ourselves in something that was too over our heads.
So did you take like just a handful of bags your first time? Like, what'd you do?
I think we would take, I don't remember, 30 or 40 pounds maybe at the start.
That sounds pretty good. Pretty big amount.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
to start. Yeah.
just to get started. I thought you were going to say less.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my dad was in sales, and I was never in sales. I work at a tool shop, but when we started this, when we went to the first market, his comment to me was, "Well, when I was in sales, my motto was stack 'em high and watch 'em buy." So we would always. I'm like, okay, so we bring as much, even if we don't think we're going to sell it, bring as much as we can.
And that first day went pretty well. I mean, I'm sure there was a little bumps, right? Like you just didn't know what to expect, but went well overall.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, ready for the big boys.
Yeah. So then we kind of added another little market. So we kind of had a few, and then we kept hearing about Bar Straight Market. Bar
Okay.
Straight Market.
Like it's the thing to
yes,
do. Like,
and it's like that was like my dream. But I was
So
like,
many
that'll
vendors.
never happen, like what? And when it did, it's like, oh my goodness, like we're actually like here, we're part of this, and it's like an amazing market. Like
so many vendors, so much stuff. Brewhound Bus is your chance to visit all the scenes you want to check out, from breweries to wineries and nightlife. Book your tour with Brewhound Bus. Go to brewhoundbus.com, let us pick you up from your house, and drop you off home safely. Grab 12 of your friends and bring your own cooler on board. Book your next bachelor or bachelorette party, birthday, or friends night out with Brewhound Bus. Check out the weekday specials as well, only at brewhoundbus.com. I always ask everyone this, and usually it's more one-on-one. So I'm kind of interested to see how your guys' brains operate, because we're going to do separate answers. So ladies first, and you can't steal. But that's good because he can't steal it. He's got to think for himself.
okay.
So you are able to rent either a plane that has like the skywriting in the sky, or a billboard that goes over the AEP building. The point is everyone can see it in this 260, in this Fort Wayne area. And it's a message from you. What would you like it to say?
Oh boy. Wow. That's a good one.
It's kind of different, I know.
Yes.
It can be short, long. It's your billboard. It's
Yeah.
it's all paid for. It's everything.
Trying to think what saying would even sell.
Doesn't have to sell
Yeah.
It's just
necessarily. It could be something to drive business. It could be. It's your billboard.
It would have our website and just say, I don't know, something like, let country roads bring joy to your, I don't know.
I like that. Joy to.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
like
he has to
thinking-
have his own
I know,
answer. You
okay,
can't.
yeah.
I know you've known him since 4th grade, but he ain't saving you on this one.
I don't know. Let us bring joy to your day, and I don't know.
I like that
Smile to your face. I don't know.
because coffee is looked at as like the starter, right? Of
Right, start
the-
your day off right. Yeah.
yeah, kind of thing. So yeah, I like
I
that.
don't know, something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Start your day that way. I totally get that. All right, so he had like extra time, but he knows he can't steal.
Right.
So we'll see what he says.
A billboard that anything I can have on a billboard.
Anything doesn't have to be for sales. It can be. It could. It's just you.
Not your face.
I mean, it's his.
Oh, okay.
Look, you stay out of this.
Oh, hey,
You had your turn.
Money's not an issue, right?
Right.
You
It's-
just do whatever you
It's already paid for. It's completely paid for.
Golly.
So it can be short or long, or it could be your face. no matter what she says.
I don't know. Don't give up.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because I've had that thought so much about giving up that, and I keep always telling myself don't give up, and I keep pushing through, and it's like it's been one of those things, a rewarding thing for me, I guess. Again, like we talked in the earlier, it's rewarding for the people that I've met. Or
right.
I guess if it was business wise, I would put my
Your face. Then he wants his face.
She came up with our dark roast is called Blacktop, and of course we try to theme things around country roads, and then she put a slogan, no burnt rubber here. So I just always thought that was perfect, and I would put a country roads emblem or something, and no burnt rubber,
That's awesome. Yeah.
I like it.
And don't give up. I like that too. Awesome.
It's pretty. That's pretty standard, I guess. The don't give.
No, that's good though. I like that. Basically, that billboard is for you to see. It's a reminder for you, and yet you realize that probably resonates with a lot of people, not just you. Even though the message is for you, hey, don't give up. You need that daily reminder sometimes. You're also kind of able to recognize that there's probably a lot of people in this area that would look up and that could help them as well. So it kind of does both. And so that's why I like that.
Well, and I guess just thinking about a billboard, like social media is our billboard. And so from day one, we're not professional is kind of how I look at it. And I want people to get to know us like we are the brand. And so we just share a lot of things on our page, and people can get to know us.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
When you go to a restaurant to eat, sometimes it's not necessarily about the food. At the end of the day, you're going to be hungry in 6 hours anyway. And there's tons of good places. One place that you pick, there's going to be other good places to eat, but you chose that one. And sometimes it's because of the people that are there. Your server, the manager, your neighbors are there, whatever. It's not about the food sometimes. Sometimes the people are going to have your coffee. It might not even be their favorite, but you are their favorite, right?
Right.
And that's big time. And that's what you've been doing then with social media since day one then. If you knew that already, that's big, because there's probably people that admit maybe the coffee is not their favorite, but they love, you guys. And it's like, well, that's what it's about. Now the coffee tastes awesome, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
And so the fact that you get that, that's pretty cool.
This podcast is brought to you by Coraggio Media. The show is edited by me and sponsored by the Waialainai Farmers Market. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest updates. We will see you next week, where we will be sure to show you how you can enjoy Fort Wayne.